Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a gilded cage.
Have you ever thought about that phrase, a gilded cage?
Yeah, I mean,
because
I think last time we tried to do this episode and completely failed at it, you said that it's like, why not just make the entire cage gold, or gauge, a gilded cage, if you will.
Well, also, it's not like, oh, I'm in a cage. Well, thank God it's gilded, you know?
I don't know. I mean, there is something to be said about how you decorate a place, right? It can really make it feel, you know, a lot less oppressive, for example. Like, if you were to see where I lived, you would probably scream because I have nothing. It's just a bed.
It's just a bed, and there's a treadmill somewhere.
There's a treadmill somewhere in there, and then there's the full streamer setup with like the LED keyboard and everything that's constantly flashing all the colors of the rainbow, of course. I'm a streamer, you know.
And 500 piles of clothes.
Okay,
that's me at least.
That's also me.
Oh God! I was just
look. Here's the thing. It's just like
there's
a certain amount of clothes that are currently in my clothes basket that are clean, but I haven't, you know, like put onto anything or like folded or anything like that. So it's like I can't throw the dirty clothes in there.
Yeah, I'm in the same situation. It's kind of like it's like one of these. It's this middling situation where these clothes aren't dirty, but really I should wash them, but then I'd have to wash all of them, and then I'd have to organize all of them. It's a mess.
Honestly, I should just go clean out the closet, but then again, that's an entire thing by itself. I do have some, of course, like hangers and everything, and that's usually where I keep like work shirts, but then again, there's also so many work shirts that I have that are just kind of like crammed into the basket, and I'll take them out when I need to. And of course I look like a mess, but I always look like a mess, so who cares?
Yeah. I mean, and if you're like me, you probably have like 20 to 25 shirts that are just somewhere, and only 3 of them are clean. And
crammed
even
into a corner, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is a really sad opening, but I think
this is a really sad opening, but one entirely expected. What we all. The reality is, we all live in gilded cages.
The point is, I don't think there's a point where gilding these surfaces would make it any more or less appealing. It would just be like, oh, well, now I've got a gilded pile of clothes.
If I had, like, you know, the full-on gold lame suit, it's like, would that be better? Or worse? Or worse when you think about how it's crammed into a corner somewhere.
Gold lame suit, is that what, is this like a gold member, like, is that what they wear in Gold Member? I don't know. I mean,
it's the sort of thing you wear with a purple toupee to turn your green around.
Okay.
They might be Giants fans in the audience.
No? I am,
okay.
But I don't recognize that specific reference. I'm sorry.
Well, I tried my best. What can I say?
I just pretended to understand the reference, but I didn't actually know. Wow, this is a really sad stream so far.
Hey, if you've been around for any amount of time, yeah, I'm actually looking like directly at Google right now. First image is of Elvis Presley gold lame suit. That feels about right.
Yeah.
Seems
That's
what
like
I would consider
suit
to be gilded clothing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a bit ostentatious for me, though.
Honestly, we're all living in a gilded cage, but none of us is wearing gilded clothes.
I just said that.
I know, and I was trying to build on it. But none of us
I didn't think there was anything to actually
clothes.
build on. I thought you were just making the same observation. Because I'm fairly certain that it's like that is a ground floor observation, that it's just like if you stand on your tiptoes, you might be able to see over the wall of ignorance.
Yeah, that's true.
Did that work?
And it's not like me just repeating something you said back to you is something that's above me. So, so what is this about? What are we doing?
Okay, we're killing evil businessman and evil military man.
Okay.
Are you ready to start hitting some men once again? 5 minutes into the episode, after we talked about how absolutely sad we are. and
Yeah.
the squalor that we live in.
Yeah, like if you gilded the frames of this building, would it be a gilded cage? And
It's not
would the
really a
people who live
cage
here,
because I can just walk right out at any point in time.
well, it's. I mean,
Look, we're focusing too much on the gilded part. What about the cage part?
it's not really a cage.
No, I mean, it's really just like a restaurant that I was in. I'm just kind of like taking a look around and seeing. Oh, yes. This is actually about the point in time that I should probably mention this here, that I actually turned off the story cues. So you know how previously there were like waypoints that were set whenever they gave you like, hey, here's a story thing you can do to kill the guy by, I don't know, pushing him into his pit of molten gold. Whatever. I can't even think of anything.
No, I don't know anything about that, but pretend
Anyway,
I
I
do.
turned them off because I felt like that was a bit intrusive. If I'm going to figure out any
Okay.
sort of story thing to do, I'll figure it out myself. I won't use the actual like waypoints they give me. Okay, there you go.
That makes sense. I mean, this is basically a puzzle game, and getting those hints is kind of like, it makes it feel probably too easy, would you say?
Yeah, and to be honest, for the most part, I am... People did tell me that it's like, hey, you know, doing the story stuff, fine and good, a little bit boring though. I'd rather see like some sort of unique type of thing, because it is really as easy sometimes as just kind of doing the thing and then you win.
So you're actually going to be doing like an entertaining. You're doing the Rube Goldberg.
I never said that it was going to be entertaining.
Oh, okay.
I just said that it wasn't going to be a story mission.
Okay.
You'll probably see many examples of that because at this point in time I've actually recorded through the original Hitman and into about halfway through Hitman 2. So
I wonder, I really have never spent a lot of time just like loitering around like a construction site or something, like a handyman or something, but I assume that they do talk about like the master key. Oh yeah, of course, the master key, you know, the one that opens all the locks, of course. Yeah.
I mean, you would probably at the very least get something like, I don't know, hey, where'd you put the key?
It's under the rug.
Okay, that was my attempt to figure out what construction workers would talk like, and it's Mario from the old live action Mario show.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not what they would talk like?
Okay. Yeah.
Just okay, thanks.
I'm sorry, I missed the original thing, and now I don't want to ask you to repeat yourself.
Captain Lou Albano, he played Mario.
Okay. Well, see, this is what I was afraid of.
Oh no. Hey, Mario's a video game.
Now I've got to ask you to repeat the context in which you suggested that, and I don't want to do that.
And here's where I make the hard decision. Are we going to start this episode over?
No.
No, okay,
not.
we're going then.
This is great stuff.
We do have quite a bit of a backlog to go through, to be fair.
Yeah.
Whatever. If one of these
content.
episodes is bad, that's actually just par for the course.
Yeah. Honestly, if you think about it from, like, the... By the way...
Yeah, I'm going to take all of those because coins are actually really good.
The coins are simultaneously enough to provoke somebody to... why did they leave them on the table like that?
Now, okay, there's also a saber here.
Yeah.
You know, if I was interested in going that route.
Yeah.
They use it to cut the shoelaces for the shoes, I guess. This is a shoe shop, is what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So at the very least, right next to the cash register, it's not the most unreasonable place to just find a bunch of coins.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. It's just funny that like you would ever leave the coins out for any reason, given that in this world, throwing a coin is enough to just get somebody to do anything you want, basically, just to go in any direction for long
and they are
enough.
always incredibly interested in not only, even if you were to throw it on like a huge sandy beach or like big shag carpet or something like that, people still immediately just their sense of, it's like, hey, there's currency somewhere.
How does this world hold together? Because it seems like the whole economy would devolve into throwing coins.
Considering that Hitman
people.
has been going around killing many very prominent members of society, not well.
Well, I mean, a lot of people die in the world, like in a given day.
Look, here's the thing. You can excuse somebody getting, say, electrocuted or, I don't know, hit by a boat or something falling off the top of a ship. Like one of the escape boats, whatever they're called. Lifeboats? Mm-hmm. Life rafts? I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
But it's like you can't excuse all 3 people that I had to kill getting killed roughly within 5 minutes of each other.
Yeah, I suppose that would be a little bit
exploding golf balls.
Like, that would make the BBC News.
I mean, I figured... I don't really know. There is no canonical way, as far as I can tell, that Hitman actually kills anybody. Each time, they just kind of say, like, oh, the guy was super stealthy and nobody found anything or whatever. If they even reference it at all. I mean, again, Hitman and stories.
Yeah.
It's like, look, we're here to travel around the world and murder people.
I mean, I guess you could just, like, retcon it in by saying there's enough time happens between those. Yeah, assassination is always a risk, but there's only, like, he's the best one at the world at it, and it doesn't happen very often.
Look, it actually, I don't know how long in between missions this is, but I don't think it's very long.
You think it's more like a few days or a week or something?
At least like a couple weeks, but that's probably about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's kind of impossible to say because, it's the timeline is not very specific. I don't even know what date this game is supposed to be taking place in. Yeah.
Kind of feels like just a generic, like, it's after, I don't know, maybe 2001, but before the current day.
But, like, not, people have radios, but they don't really have cell phones. But also they have, iPads, as you'll see pretty regularly when I'm doing, like, the blend-in thing.
Uh-huh.
Hitman will just kind of take one of those out and start tapping on it. And, of course, there was also, like, Senator DNA-specific virus, as you remember from the last episode. It's like, that's pretty...
That feels like pretty advanced technology.
At least you'd think so, right?
Yeah. I mean, they don't make lockers like that anymore, so probably around 2005.
So I did not think that I was going to grab this guy around the corner. I don't know why I thought that, because if you are currently stealthed, why would you not grab them towards yourself? But,
Welcome to Marrakesh.
Welcome back to Marrakesh. We're doing it again.
The Gilded Cage is you playing this game over and over.
Yes, it's true. Is it really that much of a cage? I mean, I don't necessarily need to, do I?
I mean, I guess when you said, like, it's not a cage because it's an open door, well, cages can have open doors. Maybe this is a gilded cage with an open door.
Maybe the reality is that this series is my Gilded Cage. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it right now. That fits way too well. Anyway, let's take a look at the low poly food.
Those look like maybe spices.
Well, there's a lot of things that I really can't figure out what they're actually supposed to look like. But, to be fair, I also do have this on bad quality. So,
Mm-hmm.
That entire thing. Anyway, here's the lighting district.
Yeah. Is this supposed to be like a bazaar then, like this whole like area?
Yeah, sort of like a marketplace in front of both the embassy and the abandoned school that I'm doing. Most Hitman locations have like they got like the 2 or maybe 3 places, depending on however many people you end up killing. Mm-hmm. And then you are intended to... They're sort of apart from each other, even though they're very close. It's like RPG sort of a topography, where you can have the volcano right next to the freezy land. Tundra is probably what you call that.
Yeah. Can I ask a really dumb question? I don't know.
Absolutely.
When you're in a city, like, is this it actually like? Because I have lived in a city, but a relatively small city, for most of my life, and it's like
You had to find a city to live in, and then you did.
Yeah, find myself a city to live in. Yes.
Glad you picked up on that one right away.
Yes. I've been thinking about the Talking Heads a lot. Or Talking Heads, not the Talking Heads. That bit is dead.
Is it? Because I feel like I still hear it plenty of times.
I'm gonna go back to it. But I'm just wondering, like, being in a city that you live in, is it really like this dense, like with alleys and stuff? Like, is it like you go out from an alley into another alley? Or is that I
was trying to do the thing where I was being stealthy, like, oh, I'm looking at the merchandise, and the guy walks immediately behind me.
Like, this
okay,
feels
well, thanks
like,
for ruining my cinematic moment there.
This feels like a really, like, almost like dream logic. Like, it's how densely it's packed as a city. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, at the same time, you might notice that one of the things that happens as I'm kind of walking around in different locations, when I get into a tightly packed group of people, you do actually become pretty much invisible to everything because, again, Hitman logic.
Mm-hmm. Because like in like near Automata, like that city, that burnt out city that is just like the main area, that feels like a pretty realistic scale of a city. You know what I mean? Or at least like a section of a city. Whereas this kind of feels like you walk out.
It's a dumb
from an
murder
alley
sandbox. I don't know. When I was playing Nier Automata, I sort of felt like. Was it just me, or I sort of felt like the locations in that area, in that world, were kind of like...
What is he thinking? Keeping Strandberg under
like, I noticed them... They felt especially video game-like to me. Something about that.
Yeah. Like, as much as I'm saying it felt like a realistic, like, city location. Like, if you actually, like, in terms of, like, walking
right
around and, like, exploring... Yeah, no, in that sense, definitely not. And especially, like, the original Nier was even worse for that. Like, that's just like, oh, you go to the overworld and, like, a few blocks later, you're in the desert, yeah.
Yeah, was it... I don't know, maybe that's just me. But, I feel like Hitman, you know, in general as a series, pretty good at filling out its locations. Yeah, they sort of do feel contrived in the way that people are this tightly packed and everything like that, but it's not as noticeable as certainly as like the Freezy world next to Big Fire Mountain.
Well, in a weird way, it almost feels more realistic because it's like this is like the experience. Like this is why I'm like I don't know if cities are actually like this because it sort of feels like they are. This feels more realistic than Nier Automata in terms of just like, okay, I go out of the alley and I'm in a different alley and then I've got to turn and I've got to go to the building and I've got to go around up these stairs and then I've got to go through this. Yeah,
that is actually something I was thinking about as I've been recording a lot of this sort of stuff. So we are trying to show at least, you know, the first couple go through, see what happens, see where I go, see what I find. Key card, for example, pretty useful. But do you actually get an idea for what this map looks like by the end of these episodes?
Yeah, in a weird way, it's kind of like it's simultaneously it would be hard to draw and hard to. I feel like if I played this, I could probably navigate it based on where you're going, just like on feel. Based on how you're doing. But yeah, I don't know. It feels like very sensible. Like the layout is pretty impressive, I would say.
I mean, of course, you know, as I'm doing this, I usually, because I'm going for the full silent assassin rank, which I don't know why I decide to do that, but here we are. Yeah, like for example, I'm just like, hey, what's this place over here? Why is it a place I can go into? But at the same time, I don't know. I get pretty familiar. Oh, by the way, there's a battle axe here.
A real battle axe.
Yeah, just there.
By the way, do you
know why?
Do you feel like this is a very linearly set up city, or do you really feel like it feels like broad and you can go anywhere and do anything and just feel
like I said, there's like 3 discrete areas that exist: the marketplace, the embassy, and the school. And they're sort of separate from each other. And of course, you know, when you go into the embassy and school, it's a lot more hostile.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, everything within there is open.
Okay.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's kind of like when you're going between areas, there's kind of this weird, like, it's shunting you in a specific path. But when you actually get out into an open market, yeah, it's basically just, it's interactable and it's open. Yeah, that makes sense.
There usually tend to be multiple ways that you can get into an area. For example, that one underground place, I don't actually use that in the winning run. So it's like that's pretty much all we're going to see of that there. Now, of course, it is kind of valuable to be able to, say, find a few of the guards who are just completely and totally isolated from each other directly in front of a closet that you can shove them into. But actually going down there, not so much. And just because this woman is very, very close to the entrance and would actually, you know what? I think that at this point in time, I played enough Hitman. I think you could get past that without being seen.
Maybe they just have a lot of deflation in this world. Like, and every, like, even that coin, well, that's worth like $10.
I don't know. They do all seem to be the same coin everywhere you go. Maybe this is just like the valuable coin.
Yeah. I can tell just from looking at it, like from the glint of the sun, that that's worth $25.
It says something on there, and I have no idea what it is. Yeah, but at this point in time, I realized, oh, this is the sniper position. I'm not doing sniping. Ah, dang.
No. Yeah, I think sniping is probably the only thing more boring than doing the silent assassin thing. Because
oh, come on, because well, I hope you remember that when we do silent assassin for the rest of the 30 missions that exist in the game.
Oh, well, I mean, it's sniping is way more boring than doing the silent assassin. That's what I meant to say.
There are so many mechanics and everything in this game that I have not interfaced with at all because I'm doing Silent Assassin. Like, it tells you, like, there's an entire, QTE punching system when you encounter somebody and you're trying to knock them out, when they actually recognize you. There's, health. There's all these various guns and stuff, like how enemies will notice gunshots and everything like that. Totally irrelevant.
There's a whole faction system based on the idea that people will eventually recognize you. Nope, none of that.
Oh, yeah. You can have, like, what was that? You can have, like, guys, you can have, like, your outfits compromised and everything like that so that people actually recognize you if you make enough of a commotion around here. Nope.
I assume these are like, I assume those are like gelatos.
Yeah, but they're so spiky.
Never had a spike of gelato?
I've never had a spike of gelato. All I've had is spiked. I can't even think of anything.
Spiked rum. I don't know. Bananas Foster?
Okay, what's a spiked rum?
I guess I was thinking of the word spiced rum, like Captain Morgan or something.
Okay, but a spiked rum is spiked with ...
Alcohol. More alcohol. Like,
isn't that just high proof rum?
I mean, I guess, like, if you mix Everclear with rum, I don't think that would
There's
count
already like 108 proof rum.
I mean, well,
That's
that
how
doesn't
you make
mean
Bananas Foster.
Really, I've never had it actually. I'm gonna try that.
I've looked into that a little bit. Cherry's Jubilee and the like foods you set on fire.
Foods you are only aware of because they're ice cream flavors.
Have you never been interested in foods you set on fire? Creme brulee, for example.
Oh, I mean, I've had like what was it, like absinthe that was lit on fire. I've creme brulees. Yeah, I've had that
That's
before.
Usually not how you end up doing absinthe, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Well, it was like it was.
You put a sugar cube on top of a spoon and then pour it over it.
Yeah, I think they actually did that at some point. I don't remember exactly, but there was something like that. Definitely something.
I don't know. Either way, it's like an anise flavor, and
yeah, I think it's a nice flavor.
That's what we're going with, eh? Anyway, sir, we're in the middle of a diplomatic crisis. Hey, actually, a person that I can talk to. How about that? Yeah, but it's like everybody knows it's the licorice flavor. It tastes like licorice. Hey, y'all ever had licorice before? So yeah, one of the things with even though I did manage to find a pretty decent sort of suit here. What is this? What is this called? Security guard. A security guard outfit, just kind of lying out in the open. Every one of the guys leading up to the stairs will recognize you. So, not really possible to just walk around, even if you do have an outfit here.
One of the things that's...
And of course, there's also that guy right there. So,
I will... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, it's just like, yeah, at this point in time, I actually would have just ducked down behind that janitor's cart. Because it's like, I know that would have kept me entirely safe, because that's how Hitman logic works.
By the way, again, just great low poly food here.
A lot of good low poly food. Like the octagon salami, big fan.
Yeah. Well, you've only got so many polys to work with.
I mean, it's like it's low poly for a reason, you know.
That does look like some good garlic, though. That looks fresh.
Garlic looks great. Actually, we did see some garlic all the way back in the first episode. I think it was, actually like strung up, the sort of classic you are in a kitchen style setting.
Mm-hmm. By the way, one of the differences
a
between
little bit more interesting stuff.
AA and AAA, one of the big differences is that they usually can only get one type of garlic like asset in the AA games. Like Supergiant, they're not commissioning multiple.
Oh no! You're not gonna see any garlic in Hades 2. Trust me. Coming out later this year. I'm gonna have to play that.
What was that?
I'm gonna have to play Hades 2. I liked Hades 1 well enough.
Yeah, I mean, I know you weren't a huge fan of it, probably because you played a billion hours.
But at the same time, every time I say that, it's just like, I'm just not a huge fan because I'm the most pretentious person to ever exist, clearly.
I mean, being pretentious about roguelites is not the worst thing. I mean,
I always say, it's just like, let me just have the one thing. So yeah, obviously I could just murder this man right here if I wanted to, but also
there's definitely a murder path where you use the moose.
Where you drop a moose on his head, yes.
Yeah. You throw a
now,
coin.
Will I use that murder path? What with my new reluctance to try and do story missions?
Now, how do you cut the the moose loose, so to speak?
I mean, you can actually just shoot it if you want. Most things that you see suspended in the air that you that are like highlighted, or you can just do this. But
I see. So you shoot the moose, and then it tries to, it struggles, and then it breaks free.
Yes, it wants to break free. Mm-hmm. Or you can just do this. It's like there is just that. There too.
There's
and nobody's even in this room.
Yeah, an unguarded. That I guess this is, you have to get into the security sector to do this, right?
I mean, I think I could probably do that even as long as I do it. Given that there is that one area in the back that also has stairs going up that is not being heavily guarded, I could manage it. I'm not going to say it's easy. It would probably require a lot of money, which is say coins.
Yeah. There's a route where you go in to the floor above that, and you go to the security room, and you just push a button, and it just collapses the entire building. It's the self-destruct.
Yeah, the self-destruct button that they have in every single building.
Of course, yeah. You have to get the roof access usually.
Oh man, has there even been a point that I've been on the roof of a building in this game?
Yeah, you were just on one
know.
like 10 minutes ago with it when you were talking about that coin.
True, but that was a sniper point specifically. Like, I can't get on the roof of this building.
Ooh, look, you get on one roof, and now you got... now you're like, haven't been on any roofs lately.
Expectations too high, right?
Yeah. What's your favorite champagne?
It's White Claw, which I'm drinking right now.
Yeah. I'm drinking some
And then here I realize, it's like, damn, I am going to have to deal with those cameras. As I continue to go through the game, the cameras get a lot more aggressive, I notice. So I do kind of get used to figuring out where like the security offices are supposed to be.
That's cool. That seems like that's a real landmark.
Well, we're looking out at a big mob of people who want to kill the man that I am also trying to kill. So you know, it's a good coincidence.
But by the way, I gotta say this is one of the most like realistic parts of the game, and just this sense that like I'm pretty sure this is what coups are actually like in the modern world. Like if you want to overthrow
a government, not a coup yet.
I mean,
that's what we're trying to prevent.
A potential coup, like somebody going into a building and killing the president or whatever in there is like that's
he's not the president. He's evil businessman
or whatever. I don't know, a powerful person who has a powerful faction. I don't. That's how coups are started.
He is under the protection of the general, the Zaydan.
Are we protecting? Or are we?
No. We're not protecting.
No, let me rephrase that. Are we starting a coup or are we ending a coup? Is that
we
our
are
mission?
Ending a coup?
Okay, yeah. So Zaydan is like the. He
is a general who is trying to provoke the rioters to actually like storm the building so they can declare martial law, lockdown, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Weren't you paying attention during the first 5 minutes where I lingered on the descriptions for each one of the characters that we're killing?
Oh, Chris.
While we were talking about just the squalor we live in?
No, I missed that. I must have missed that.
I'm going to keep doing that for every single future episode, by the way.
Oh, okay.
You will. If people want, they will be able to pause the video and see the full write-up on each one of the characters. It's the sort of thing where we're probably not even going to acknowledge it, but at the same time, I know I would probably pause the video and read everything if I was watching the series. Does it matter? No. All we need to know is that I'm going to murder this man.
By the way, what continent are we on? Have we gotten to that bit yet?
We're in Morocco.
Oh, wait, that's a country, not a continent.
Yes, it's in the
Anyway, my point is
you're doing this to me.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. There's going to be. I've seen ahead on this video.
I know. I should know this.
It's Africa. It's North Africa. But
damn it, I was gonna say Europe, so that's
okay.
Good.
Okay, I was gonna say
that would have been embarrassing.
There's something funny where
I'm not cutting this out of the video, by the way.
Okay.
Look, to be fair, if I don't know, that's on me.
By the way, that logo back there looks like something from like a puzzle game.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
I don't know. Just stray observation.
Man, they even got like these big wavy walls. I feel like this is, I have been pretty surprised at just like, this is a fairly realistic take on a lot of buildings that you see in Hitman. I'm so used to in video games, a mansion being literally the size of an entire town and everything like that, it is definitely sort of refreshing to see a location that actually feels like an appropriately sized location for what it is.
Yeah. I mean, and like I have to say, Persona did a good job with that too. For all the like, we hate that game, but like,
whoops, no silent assassin on this run. But yeah, not that I was planning to it. I got way too obsessed with trying to just do silent assassin from the very beginning. Even though it's like, what's even the big deal? Most times you're trespassing in a place, they'll just say, "Hey, I'm gonna lead you out." They don't immediately kill you.
There's just a remote explosive.
Yeah, like
there.
The castle or the museum in Persona 5. Yeah, very realistic.
I wouldn't say realistic, but I would say that they were appropriately sized to give the impression that they
yes, if they were appropriately sized, they would be appropriately sized.
Anyway, I don't know why.
No, but yeah, like the school feels like a school, I suppose.
Yeah, there you go.
I still think that it's shocking to think that there were supposed to be hundreds of students in that school.
Yeah. Well, they were mostly all like NPCs, literally. But I mean, like they also they were pretty nondescript.
I never felt I've been doing a lot of like the transcript stuff as of recent, and it's just like I never felt like that. Anyway, I just kind of wandered. I spent like 10 more minutes or something wandering around the embassy, not finding anything. So back here. This is the shoe shop again.
Okay.
Where I'm not looking for shoes. I'm looking for coins, actually. I mean, yeah, that's really it, right? There's also that saber, but, you know.
Chekhov's saber.
We're not going to be using any sort of melee weapons, at least for a few more missions.
Yeah, this is sort of like the inverse of Chekhov's gun, because there are a bunch of weapons everywhere, and you're only going to use like one of them at the end.
Yeah, if I'm going to use any, period, at this rate.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so like I said, guy that goes into a room by himself right next to a closet. It's a fairly easy outfit to get.
Yeah.
Also, he's got like the key card and everything.
I just love when I'm walking through a building and I see all the human-sized lockers that are everywhere in really
people especially
locations.
Keep in their bathrooms.
Yeah, exactly.
Really need a lot of those. I mean, to be fair, it seems sort of like that was supposed to be like storage for electronic. Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense.
Honestly, I can see it like for a facility, like for a maintenance room or something. Sure, you need to store a big like sound.
All of the closets, all of the drawers, all of the hampers.
Honestly, it's just kind of underscored how little storage space that I actually have, and how much I would like to have these things.
We've already gone over this, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, we actually... yeah, sad.
It's funny that we circled back around.
Yeah. Well, we're pros. It's a great segue.
Yeah, truly. But things people like to talk about. The weather... their favorite foods, their storage situation,
and the filthy clothing situation,
and the filth and squalor they live in.
Please do tell others how we live. I don't know.
The anti-Lenny.
Yeah, Carl. Anyways, all
right. Well, anyway. Walk right by here, easy enough. Also, I noticed, hey, there's a toy tank right there, and then I walked away. The toy tank does not interest me.
You're in. Good work.
So, are you gonna?
Well, anyway.
Oh yeah, Africa.
Damn it! I should have remembered that. Like literally, I would fail preschool in this place.
Well, you really only have to know a couple of geographic things. Like there's the Kilimanjaro, and then there's overlooking Victoria Falls, I believe. That's how that song goes. It's very inaccurate.
Okay, it took me a second, but I'm just like, I guess you know about Australian geography, so there's that.
Yeah. Well, I know what I've learned in Outback.
He probably deserves it.
Oh my god. All right, that's a reference to Toto's Africa. Toto's Africa.
Yes. And also, it's the reason I brought up the continent is because it's just very funny that they have, as an environmental decoration, just a bunch of...
Also, I think I just said Australia, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
A bunch of
good on you for not pointing that out, but still, that
I thought
was
you were going on a riff into Australia separately. Okay.
No, I said the wrong thing.
Okay.
Of the peace.
I mean, in fairness, if we're talking about
the wrong thing,
there is also a 1980s song about going down under. So.
Yeah, that's probably why.
And they sound relatively similar, I believe. Like, those are both, like...
They've got a similar, like, 80s poppy sound, right?
Yeah, just that kind of, like, vaguely...
There's no way you can confuse those two. God, I'm so stupid.
Indian Ocean
whatever.
adjacent.
We've already decided we're doing this as the episode.
Yeah.
Can't undo it now.
I just find it really funny that this mission, which is in Africa, which is in... it just has a bunch of...
Which is in Australia,
like,
yeah.
third grade like elementary school posters of the continent of Africa with no further like context. Like it's just, yeah, we've got that asset. Let's use it.
Let's use it many, many times. And also, here's a picture of here's an anatomical picture of a heart.
Wow.
You know, the sort of things that you learn in grade school.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so here's the scouting out that we're doing of Zidane.
I mean, what is
surprisingly enough, nobody in the toilets. Just like I walked in here and I'm like, really nothing at all.
So is it implied that this is like bombed out, or is it just
I don't know exactly what the deal is, but yeah, there's only soldiers in here.
I mean, I assume this is like the general has seized some control or something. Is the general in the bathroom right now?
No, he is right outside of it.
Okay.
Which is why I'm just like, man, how do I get him underneath this toilet so I can get him crushed by a toilet?
Yeah, one of the best ways to do a coup is to you're in the embassy bathroom and you just do a bunch of explosives on one floor and you just say clear and you blow a hole in the bathroom, then you jump down into the next room, and that's like the administrative center. That's the heartbeat of the whole operation. And if you've done that, you've taken over the radio station. You've pretty much taken over the embassy. You're pretty much in the clear at that point.
This is actually a military man. You know, I don't think you need to do it like that exactly.
Yeah, but that's more fun. Like you get to say.
And to be honest, this is the world of Hitman, so fair enough.
Troops are all in place, ready, willing, and able. Very well. We wait until the meeting starts.
I always love when I'm.
And there you go, exactly what I was talking about before.
Crowd storms the consulate, and Crystal Dawn takes the blame.
I always love
Crystal
going
Dawn
over
is
my
apparently
plan.
some other.
And Casablanca.
Yeah, yes. Let's all explain the plan. Blah blah blah.
That the government has lost control of the riots, and as highest rank.
While I am just sitting over here cleaning up my boots for what feels like an eternity.
I love like when they're saying their whole plans, and then they're also like, "I will," with a heavy heart, of course. Like it's like when they're explaining the plan in maturing candidate. You don't do that right before you go up and give the speech.
Yeah, you would also think that you wouldn't just like stand looking outside of a window menacingly while laughing at how evil you are. But we just talked about Persona 5.
I mean, you
wouldn't think that you would have an entire series of cutscenes like that. They just keep going.
They restrain themselves from saying after that the world.
I don't know if Shido ever was all that interested in conquering the world.
Oh no, I mean like this general here. Like he didn't say, "Oh, and then once we take Morocco, I'll be president, and then we'll take over the world." It's like, no, he's taking over the one country. Fine.
Look, yeah, it's fine. Hey, look, we can let him have one country, right?
Yeah. Also, you probably wouldn't do this just logistically. You probably wouldn't want to do the. I guess you could do it in the one embassy, but you'd probably want to do it in the capital. Like, I think
they said specifically that there are other people that are about to start looting elsewhere in the country.
I feel like you'd start in Rabat, is all I'm saying.
Anyway, I'm trying to walk past this man. It's not working.
This might be more...
As it turns out, he is a solid presence in this world and not actually a ghost that I imagined being in front of that door.
Are most people solid? Like, or...
Yeah, people are solid.
Okay.
That is... I don't really know why I thought that would work. Especially given that I'm supposed to, at least try to be stealthy here. Well, whatever. It's like that guy's in front of a door. What's he guarding? Mm-hmm. Who could possibly tell? And he walked right back in front of it again.
So what's your plan?
Okay, you know how there's nobody in the toilet room?
Yeah.
I'm going to try and push this toilet on top of him. He doesn't even go in that room, as I find out eventually. It takes quite some time, too, because I'm just like, God, please tell me I can crush him with this toilet.
I mean, it's sitting right there on that precipice. Like, that must...
It's right there. It gives you the kick prompt right there.
There must have been it might be something where you have to get there really early or something.
Or maybe you need to like turn on the PA system, so he has to go investigate or something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just to take out the guys directly. There are some guys that are directly below it, but you know they're not the target. So silent assassin and all that.
Is this bathroom above a classroom? Is that what I'm seeing?
Well, it's above like the, I guess, administrative.
Oh, administrative.
office.
Yeah. Like they don't have like a wet wall or something.
No.
Like you'd think that would matter, especially in. So you're just gonna like choke him out?
No. Why are you even implying that sort of thing?
I actually don't know.
Like, come on. Surely I'm gonna do something a little bit more into. Okay, fine. Yeah.
You throw him down into the room below,
And like I said,
then put.
nobody's actually in here, so that worked.
In fairness, it does say Afrique and not Africa. They are taking into account that it's a francophone country. Like,
So, yeah, it's just like nobody goes into that room. So now here's the thing: somehow I couldn't actually get a repeat of that sort of action. Basically, like I don't know. Usually, what happens is that the targets will say, "Hey, you over there, check that out." They don't actually check things out themselves, but somehow I got that to work, and I couldn't get it to happen again. But that's the basic of what I tried to do.
okay.
You say so.
So
So for the winning run, we're not doing that. And I'm also just including this just to show I'm starting to get an actual understanding of how the dumb AI in this game works because, you know.
surprised I'm not seeing like a Utah teapot. Like they actually seem to just have different like assets, like a lot of different little assets like that. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, I don't think we're just seeing like Utah team. Yes.
Well, maybe in Colorado.
Maybe in Colorado, which we're going to be getting to not even the next episode, but the next episode. Oh, that map. Apparently a very infamous one for Hitman, but I didn't even find it all that bad. But we'll get there eventually. So yeah, once again, I just did this to show, hey, I'm kind of understanding the dumb way these NPCs work. And there we go. That's the key card. All right. You ready? We're doing it for real this time.
Okay.
Okay. I'm still considering maybe in the future just like doing the pre-planning and everything on stream and then maybe just having the actual runs be the videos, but hey, I've already recorded and rendered like the rest of Hitman, so
Yeah.
at least for the next few episodes it's going to be this.
Okay. That's not bad.
Is it?
I mean,
There's 4 more episodes.
I mean, it's fine for me. It's just a conversation for me. I'm not the viewer. I don't care.
I've already spent like almost 60 hours in this game, by the way.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, that's how meticulous I'm being when it comes to doing each one of these missions.
What is?
We're going full silent assassin, 5 stars each one. I don't know why. I just decided to do that.
Have you ever calculated how much you get per hour for these commissions?
Oh, not enough.
Okay.
That's not the point, though. We're not doing this for the sake of money.
It's true.
Yeah, now I'm also realizing the cool trick of throwing money to interrupt conversations.
Yeah, we literally just did that in our conversation.
It really works.
Yeah. Ooh, over there.
Yeah, and then they stop talking about how he has a key card. So then I can just go and steal the key card from him.
I like that little jog right there, like...
Oh, to be fair, I didn't know if that other guy was going to see me. Maybe he would. Let me tell you another thing that's going to be happening is I am going to be doing a lot more light jogging around here too as we continue to get on in the series.
Well, as you get more familiar with what you can get away with, yeah. I'm sure that's pretty standard in stealth games.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't even close it.
You got it.
Oh. You just left the locker open. I don't know if you noticed that.
Sometimes, I don't know, the doors close automatically, but sometimes not as fast as you want them to. It's like one of the few things they have figured out in the Hitman universe is to have these doors that stay open for exactly like 10 seconds, but still that is enough for people to see you through the open doors.
Yeah.
It's not like playing What Net Hack, where it really is door closing simulator. 1985. When did that game come out?
I'm sorry. I was remembering that I'm pretty sure you can actually program door closers to do that, to have that behavior.
Like that sort of thing in like Star Trek Next Generation, where doors always take as long as possible to close so that you can get in one extra thing to say to the person.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty common trope across TV. It's just that it's rarely so explicit.
But usually you don't have doors that automatically open and close.
Yeah.
Now to locate
I mean, Columbo, his whole career was built on that.
His whole career was built on pointing out the super menial, pointless things in shows.
If doors closed faster, Columbo would have been out of a job.
Anyway, so here's the actual plan that I had in mind for dealing with. It says it in the upper left corner in every single one of these missions. It raises it in. Okay. So we're just gonna stand here and wait. And in future episodes, I would speed up this part, but this is not future episodes, unfortunately.
His friends call him Dan.
Oh. All right. Well, anyway, so there is this entire window over here. One of the things that happened while I was doing this mission was I decided if I'm going to spend long enough doing each one of these missions, maybe I should just try doing it on the max difficulty, right?
Yeah, sure.
However, boy, they add in a guard at every single corner of every single hallway and then get rid of most of the things you can pick up around the entire level and everything like that.
Oh, so
it's I just said, let's just do a professional instead.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe by the end you'll be comfortable enough to try that.
Maybe. I don't think it really matters either way. Because I feel like, well, given that I've already played the game for almost 60 hours at this point in time, it's reasonably challenging.
I mean, it seems like at a certain point, it's just it's playing on an extreme difficulty just to say that you did it. It's more circuitous and
yeah, but at the same time, don't I already do that for a lot of games?
You have to calibrate it with the actual difficulty of an assassination.
So in other words, we'll have to end the series because it's impossible to complete now.
I mean,
See, there I walked through the guy.
Yeah.
And there we got the end of that storyline. And I'm still so mad I couldn't kick the toilet on top of the guy's head. Come on, we're trying to do comedy kills here,
Yeah.
Well, wait a second. That's way too close. Now then.
I've always said, my comedy kills.
And this time, literally. And there we go.
That was actually pretty funny.
Move on to Klaus Strand.
Yeah, that's it.
I just like that. They're just oh yeah, you're just that guy. Yeah, you're that guy I know.
Yep.
You're the guard I work with.
Nobody saw me do it, so look. I've even turned on at this point in time the silent assassin indicator, so you can see in the bottom left corner those little green guns. They would turn red if I did it bad.
Okay.
So as far as we're concerned, that was a perfect assassination in exactly that way, exactly how I did it.
It just continuously plays the first part of In the Hall of the Mountain King, where you're just creeping along.
No, it just continuously plays Edgar Winter's Frankenstein.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I have not been able to monetize any video on this series. It's been a real problem. I mean, I think I actually tried to put Frankenstein in one of the videos, and YouTube's just nope. like literally a 5-second clip for some like old Dead Cells thing, and YouTube was not having it.
Well, to be fair, you kept calling the monster Edgar Winter, and that's just not how that works.
And true. That's the name of the doctor.
No, it's Edgar Winter's Frankenstein is the name of the monster.
Yes, it's true. And he's referred to as the creature or Adam.
I mean, I just feel like you should know this because you're a doctor and all.
Right. It's true. I wouldn't really want anybody confusing me and the monsters I've created.
Like the series so
entirety of my channel.
I mean,
you know what? Nobody's referred to me as Dead Cells yet.
I suppose you didn't make it. That was Motion... Or wait, is it the other way around?
Well, if you ask my aunt...
Did Dead Cells create Motion Twin? Or did Motion Twin create Dead Cells? That's not a philosophical question. I just don't
we gotta
know.
look at string theory to answer this question.
Really? Because I just don't know what the company is. Oh, okay, fine.
And so they go by Evil Empire, and people keep reminding me of that, and I'm like, whatever, it's part of Dead Cells.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no, it's part of Motion Twin. One of the two. I don't know.
I'm just... this is the problem with it. I just make people dumber just by having these conversations with them.
No, it certainly has nothing to do with the White Claw and the heat and everything. At 9 o'clock at night after I just did a 4-hour stream.
I feel like you have not had a lot of beer.
No, I've had like 2 White Claws. Not even beer.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, as always, do at least one save. Well, do one save. I'm trying to keep the saves to a minimum. I don't know.
But
once again, why am I playing this in such a particular way?
I don't... I have no idea. Like, there's clearly, like, we don't have any hard constraints on this, like, the commentary.
No, I was not given any sort of rules I had to follow.
Like, this commentary is not very well structured. I mean...
Oh, God, no. We haven't even tried. As evidenced by the beginning of this episode, we didn't even try to come up with something to say.
I mean, we tried, like, a week ago. You're like, oh, let's do the Gilded Cage. That's something. And then we didn't.
Let's do episode 3 is more what I said. It's not like I chose, like, oh, yeah, this is going to be a good mission to talk about.
It's going to be a classic riff with the Gilded Cage. Like... I still don't think not to go back to that.
Now we can get the 9 Inch Nails references in there. We can, talk about gold.
I thought that was a Slipknot song. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage.
I thought that was... Okay, we're looking this up. This
I could be wrong on that.
Thankfully, fact-checking is... We're both wrong. Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go.
Okay,
yeah,
then never
that
mind.
makes sense. Yeah. I don't know. I was just,
Bullet with butterfly wings. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's right. That, I always forget, like, 3 things about that. There's also, like, it's not a song that has a third title that it could also be.
Is it? What's the second title?
I mean, Rat in a Cage. I don't know. Like...
It's not the title of it.
Yeah, but I mean,
A Rockefeller Skank is not called Funk Soul Brother.
The World is a Vampire.
That's not the name of the song.
I mean, it's a better...
just the opening line of the song.
I know, but Bullet with Butterfly Wings, they don't even reference that.
No, by the way, everybody, no, that's not a JoJo reference. That came out actually probably about the same time, is it?
I just think, like, Bullet with Butterfly Wings is just such a... I mean, it's not a bad title, but it's like, you have the phrase, oh, the world is a vampire. And
You gotta say that right, though.
Yeah. The world is a vampire.
There we go. Every single time I just think of the version of it that is set to Working for the Weekend. By Loverboy.
Sounds good. I don't think I've ever heard that, but I don't want to interrupt it. Like,
it's pretty good. I think it's called... I think the song specifically is called Mullet with Butterfly Wings.
Oh. Oh, it's Neil Cicerega. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember if that was or not. Well, anyway, so yeah, whatever. Anyway,
they really spent a lot on.
What are we doing?
Like the assets for that company. This must be. Does that come up like later? Like they did a
for what?
They like designed a whole professional graphics suite for this company.
Oh yeah, I think that's just AAA money, baby.
Yeah, okay, that's quite impressive.
Because there are some things that I do recognize as you're kind of going through. I mean, of course, like pop cans, for example, are consistent, but that's the real world.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things like some of the low poly food, for example. I know that I recognize. I start to recognize over. Is this a thing I want to admit? I don't know. I'm kind of rethinking it right now.
I think what I like about even like the soda, like the off-brand soda, it feels like they actually got somebody who designs off-brand brands for a living, like somebody who designs as like.
Do you honestly think that is a real profession that actually exists?
Yeah.
Pam Kingsley and her people should have arrived.
And there we go, 2 for 2, baby.
Yeah. Do you get a...
So, you were asking, it's just like, are these going to be entertaining kills if I'm not doing them?
Do you get a bonus if
ones.
they're like, they do the same, they die the same way?
No, I don't get I don't get a strike if I kill 3 people by throwing them off. That was just the best way to do it. What can I say?
That's funny because I was kind of thinking of bowling when I said that. Like, I don't know why.
It's...
Like, you line it up.
Yeah, that is weird. What?
You lined it up.
Yeah, but it's like, I have no idea, but it's like, yes, we're not going to do the story modes, so here, let me just go huck 2 of these guys off of second floor.
I guess I was more thinking of, like, a slot machine. Like, you get 3 in a row. Like,
Yeah, you got to get the jackpot. You got to get the, what do they call it in a slot machine?
I don't know. Probably jackpot, but...
Got to get them 3-Os.
That might be where the term jackpot comes from. I don't know. No, probably not, but...
No, it's got to be something to do with a real pot, right?
Yeah, well, now I'm curious. 3 in a row. What's that called?
Hey. 3 in a row. I'm fairly certain it's called 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Got to get the straight.
Searched slot.
No, that's... I don't know how to play poker.
Lines and ways. Apparently.
Doc Firebird exposed. He doesn't know a lot of things, clearly.
Yeah. It's embarrassing to know so little about gambling.
I know, right?
I'm
never gonna make it in Vegas.
Rose and reels. That might be it.
Rose and reels?
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess.
Let's see. 3 in a row slot mechanics. Yu-Gi-Oh's duelists of the...
Go on.
Duelist of the Roses? There's a PS2 game? I found a thread.
I'm aware of it, yes.
Okay, well, yeah.
There have been a number of different Yu-Gi-Oh games. One came out recently that was a multiplayer one that I remember was kind of a thing for a while. Although I think that one's shut down now.
It's a forum. It's a game forum, like a VBB forum. And it's just a post about the mechanics of the slot machine in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses, and no one responded to it.
So, good news. We're done with the episode. I guess sit back and watch the completely indecipherable story unfold.
Compromised, but I don't understand. There is no sign of forced entry, no alarms, nothing.
One of my people has gone missing in Johannesburg. A key bearer.
wish I'd been informed. Still, the system demands 2 keys, and the rest are all accounted for.
Except for your late predecessors.
Cobb? But his plane went down over the Pacific. It was an accident.
Such was the conclusion at the time. Yes. People die, Mr. Fannin. Happens all the time, even to us. It seems like a conspiracy. Probably isn't. And yet, the failed coup in Morocco, the ether virus. Someone knows about us. There was a pattern and I failed to see it. Providence is under attack.
How much was there?
Money? Not money, Mr. Fannin. Information on all of our assets and operatives. Like you. Dig a trench, Director. And make it a deep one. Because none of you are safe anymore.